is 8 o'clock on the East Coast. It is 5 o'clock on the West Coast. It is the 27th of February in the year of our Lord 2025. Season 15, episode 33. 702 times. 702. You have been welcome to the Clubhouse Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things sports, pop culture, entertainment, pro wrestling. Welcome. My name is Rob. I am the executive producer of the Clubhouse Podcast, and we got some cool stuff to talk about tonight. I'm very excited. But it is not the solo adventure, kids. Trust. We are skating at full strength. Right over there is my co-host. And a man I got to hang out with a little bit last weekend. Both in person and metaphorically. He is Alex.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and I still greatly appreciate you watching the Casa while I had to make a run. But it was a great time, despite the situations down in San Antonio. Thank you to everybody who came out. If you do happen to see my social exploit everywhere, and you do see something regarding the San Antonio Junior missions and Joe Fazikis, if you can, every bit helps. If not, just make sure you hug close people.
And it's on mine as well.
Yes, and I appreciate that. I didn't want to throw you out there as well, but
it's okay. It's all right. No, you're good with it. Had a great time. Actually, after I dropped you off at the airport, I decided I was going to have breakfast at the Cracker Barrel.
Oh, that is an excellent choice.
They have added a steak and egg hash brown casserole.
Ooh,
that is fantastic.
Because casserole is their jam.
Yep. It was very wonderful. And then I went and did some shopping and then went back to, and once I got back to your house, I was done going anywhere for the rest of the day.
Understandably after that.
Me, the animals, and Taco Bueno on DoorDash. That was the agenda. But had a great time, hung out with the kitties and the puppies, and life is good. At the bottom of your screen is the official fact checker of Sooner Gator Productions. And a man who just found out a little bit ago some cool stuff we're going to be doing. You may know him as Zig Bunu, but his mama named him Don Ford. I'm going to call him Don Ford. Hey, man.
Hey, I always call it February. Because they happy February, so I said February. That's what I always say.
Have you ever done the calendar thing with your knuckles?
No.
So basically, if you put your knuckles together.
Yeah.
Well, technically, you can do it with one hand.
Every time you hit an actual knuckle, those are the months that have 31 days. So it's January, February, March, April, May.
Wait, June. Pause. So you're counting your knuckle and the space between.
Correct.
Yeah.
June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So you got that going for you.
Okay.
Test it later.
Or you have the song, which is what Sean does.
Let us get right into it with your sports talk. Big news coming out of the ESPN shortly after we went off air last week.
Yep.
This year will be their 36th season covering Major League Baseball live. And it will be their last. They will not be broadcasting ML games after this year. I am interested because Apple TV already what are you doing, Don?
That's my computer. Something's going nuts on it.
Well, you're just being the prince of the lens flare, sir.
Yeah, I apologize.
Don Swimmer brought to us by J.J. Abrams.
The king of the lens flare.
Yes.
Sorry.
But now with Apple TV having Friday Night Baseball, it does make me wonder if they will take Sunday Night Baseball too. Now, if I had my druthers, I want to go old school and kick it real old school, because somebody that hasn't had baseball in a long time, I think, needs it back, and that's NBC.
Interesting. We had briefly discussed something, but I have a pivot and a hat on a hat, if you will, but maybe for good purpose. We had mentioned about the possibility that they went over to Amazon and on their Prime Video for streaming purposes.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't think of something when we talked about that, Rob.
What's that?
What if we had the alternate broadcast like we got with Thursday Night Football that had the tracking, had all of the data and everything, the enhanced mode? I want that. I think that would make baseball better.
I don't know. I like it for football. I feel like with baseball, it might be too much because there are so many stats in baseball of like,
no. And I get
person's batting 395 when it's an odd Thursday of an even month and the temperature's between 74 and 78 degrees with a light breeze. Like,
see, you're being dismissive, but you're missing why that's the point. We have no Bob Uecker anymore. We need those kind of stats from somewhere.
You know what I want to see? I want to see what they did with the NFL and add a Simpsons game with the Major League Baseball for one game. Have them all in Simpson characters and stuff.
I think so. They do an overlay like they've done with the NBA and with the NFL.
Yeah,
but then it would have to go to Fox or Disney Plus.
Well, Fox does have their afternoon doubleheaders as well. So
we'll see.
I still think Fox is the most likely result.
We also want to send a shout out to Diana Taurasi announcing yesterday that she is retiring after 20 seasons in the WNBA.
All time.
I had to do math. She has 6 Olympic gold medals.
Mm-hmm.
I was just like, oh man, I am that old. She's been around that long because I remember watching her in college
and UConn. Yeah,
yep, that's part of that dynasty.
Now, the other part about that is do you know what has led to her being more comfortable with retirement?
I do not.
Calling it the female equivalent of the Big Three League is too dismissive, so I want to apologize, but I don't know how better to describe it. The off-season WNBA league was founded by Diana Taurasi and is apparently succeeding very well, with Angel Reese being basically the biggest star in there. And apparently they're doing really good numbers as far as clearing overhead, making money, and it's kind of put it in a good place to let her feel comfortable stepping away.
It is called Unrivaled.
Unrivaled. Thank you. I didn't want to misquote the name of it, so thank you for looking that up.
Yeah, because I'm like, I know there's a name for this, and I can't remember it either. So that's why I had to. But yeah, congratulations to her. A career that I think, no pun intended, is going to be unrivaled. Like,
yeah,
the stats that she put up, the accolades that she has, God bless her. It was awesome to watch her play.
I mean, you look at that back-to-back that they had between Sue Bird, her, and Breonna Stewart. Though that's just unbeatable.
On the other end of that spectrum, Greg Popovich suffered a stroke over the weekend. He did visit with the team today, but it is all but certain that he is going to need to retire.
He has confirmed that.
Okay, so it is now confirmed.
Yeah, he actually, I want to say he was discussing that before the stroke happened, but it was confirmed at the beginning of this week that this will be the last season of him being involved with the Spurs. Now,
put him in the hall tomorrow. Give him the
put him in the hall yesterday.
Now, give him the Gretzky rule.
There has been some discussion of whether or not he would be a special advisor or be still attached to the team, because I don't know that you have Spurs history without Pop, Duncan, and Robinson. That's kind of it.
Yeah. Put him in the give him
with all due respect to the Iceman.
So let's get into your standings in the NBA. In the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division, the Toronto Raptors still looking for that 20th win. They're 24 games out of first place. They're 2.5 back of Philadelphia. The Sixers are now a game back on Brooklyn. They are 17 back on the Knicks. The Knicks now 3.5 back on Boston. By the way, Philly's dropped 9 in a row. In the Central Division, the Chicago Bulls, they are 25.5 back. They are 10 games back on Detroit Pistons, former champs of basketball. They're tied with Milwaukee. Milwaukee is having some problems, but Detroit's won 8 in a row, which ain't helping them.
No, not at all.
They're both a game back on Indiana. The Pacers now 14.5 back on Cleveland, who's also won 8 in a row. In the Southeast Division, ladies and gentlemen, the Washington Wizards have their 10th victory. They have a point differential of -13 right now.
Oh, boy.
In their 48 losses. They are, but you know what? They're still only 18 games back in that division.
Which tells you how garbage it is.
Yeah.
Well, leading the division, there's no team in this division that's above 500 right now. Not a single one. Because they're 4.5 back on Charlotte. The Hornets are now 12 back on Atlanta. The Hawks are a game back on Miami. Miami's back half a game on Orlando, and the Magic are 29-31.
Before we go too far away from the Wizards, I have a question for you, gentlemen.
Sure.
Yeah.
We know that the lottery system was implemented because the NBA had notoriously had the lower half to be on the lower half of teams actively trying to lose when there was talent available. Do you think any of this year is because they're trying to get Cooper Flag?
But it's still not a guarantee.
No, it isn't.
That's a lottery.
But it improves your odds. I mean, it's not an even lottery across the way. There is a massive.
If you take this and you still don't get that number 1 pick,
then you're the Pistons.
In the
so
Western,
Rob, do you still think that like the NFL that if a team is under 500, they should not make the playoffs?
I say that in every sport. I maintain that in every sport. If you are below 500, you do not get a playoff spot, and it goes to another wild card. Don't care who you are. Alex, you have a strange look.
No. I agree with it. The only problem you have with that one is similar to the NHL. So many teams make the playoffs for the NBA. It's almost impossible. Like, even if you tried to go to the wild card, you'd probably still be below 500.
Which is
okay. Yeah. Because
and now
they're bad.
In the Pacific Division of the Western Conference, the Phoenix Suns, they're 4 games below 500, and they're 9 back. Which is weird because the team that's leading that division is doing much, much better. They are 3 back on the Kings. Sacramento's a point back on Golden State. Golden State now a point back on the Clippers. And the Lakers are 4 games up on them. In the Southwest Division. Fly Pelican. They have 15 wins, and they're 23 back. They are 9.5 games back on the aforementioned Spurs. San Antonio now 6 back on the Mavericks, who are in the middle of the pack. They're 6 games back on Houston, and the Rockets are a game and a half back on Memphis. And in the Northwest Division, the Utah Jazz, they've got 14 wins. They're 33 games back in that division. But when you're in a division with Oklahoma City this year, you kind of got to expect it. They are 10.5 back on Portland. Portland is now 6 back on Minnesota. Minnesota now 6.5 back on Denver. And Denver is 9 back on Oklahoma City, who, by the way, are 47-11 right now. And just running it.
Well, they can't get to 72.
Let's get to the NHL. As we went off.
Actually, I wanted to share a stat here since we're usually a little sports light right now. I saw something regarding the Denver Nuggets. Now, they have been around longer than I anticipated, going back to the ABA. In the Denver Nuggets history, there have been 234 instances where one of their centers had double digits in assists. 234 in its entire history. Do you know how many of those are Nikola Jokic?
All of them.
It is not all of them.
200.
Because Nikola Jokic. Nikola, I can never say his name.
No, I was waiting. Don't worry, Don. I was waiting to respond to you. It's 230 out of 234 in their entire history. Yeah. And it's just the last 4 or 5 years, maybe?
That man's a beast.
He is a monster.
From what I'm told, one of the nicest humans on the planet.
And Luca's best friend, apparently.
Yeah.
So
let's go to hockey. Last week, as we were going off the air, we were in the second period of the 4-Nation Army Scramble Challenge face-off. But the CND pulls it out 4-3 in overtime. So congratulations to them. Your standings in the Eastern Conference Atlantic Division. The Buffalo Sabres. Oh, I need to write that in there's something I got to put in here that broke today that if I don't put it in here, I'm going to forget. One moment, please. There we go. The Sabres, they have 53 points. They're 21 points out of first place. They are 6 points back of the Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, we got to do something about Don's mic, but he did do it.
Yes, he did. We saw the mode. He mined it.
on 3 points back on Boston. The Bruins and Ottawa are tied, and they're both 4 points back of Detroit. The Red Wings now 4 back of Tampa Bay. Tampa 3 back on Florida, and Florida is now 1 point back on Toronto. By the way, Tampa Bay's won 6 in a row, and Ottawa's dropped 5 in a row. In where now, Don?
The Metropolitan Division.
Thank you, sir. Your Pittsburgh Penguins are in the cellar.
What's new?
They're only 29 points out of first place.
That's all it takes.
They're 2 back on the Islanders. The Islanders 2 back on the Flyers. Philly now 3 back on the Rangers. New York is 2 back on Columbus. Columbus now 6 back on New Jersey, who's tied with Carolina, but they're both 14 back on the Capitals. Ovechkin inching ever closer.
He's within 11 now, isn't he?
I think it's almost. I think after tonight, I think it'll be down in single digits, if I'm not mistaken. He had a hat trick the other night.
I've avoided everything so that we could have the next segment be clean.
So one of my favorite YouTube channels is called Secret Galaxy, and this guy, what he does is he picks animated properties or TV properties or movies, and he does little 20-minute documentaries. This week that just dropped earlier today was a cartoon I'd forgotten about, and it was called Pro Team or something. It was an animated series with Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, and Wayne Gretzky as like a super team.
Yeah.
And let's go to the Western Conference. In the Central Division, the Chicago Blackhawks still roughing it. They could double their point total and still be 6 back.
Poor Chicago.
They're 6 back on Nashville. Predators now 13 back on St. Louis. Well, I think there's a reason coming up. I'm going to tell you. The Blues are a point back. Hockey Club is right in the middle of the pack right now. Hockey Club now 9 back on Colorado. Avalanche is 2 back on Minnesota. Minnesota now 4 back on the Stars. The Stars are now 9 back on Winnipeg. Did I mention that Winnipeg has 87 points right now? I mean, the closest to them. What are we doing? Oh, my computer's not wanting to do things.
So what you're saying is at this point, based on success, we need to send them Fireman Ed.
Yep. Can you guys see me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I see you.
All right. Everything's frozen for me right now from an internet standpoint. There we go.
All right.
Because I wanted to look and see. Toronto's got 74. Washington's got 84. Winnipeg at 87.
So they're in the league.
Those are 3 or 4 divisions. San Jose Sharks, put a pin in it. Seattle is now 20 points back of first place. They are 3 back of the Ducks. Anaheim is now 7 back on Calgary. Flames are a point back on Vancouver. Oh, by the way, Winnipeg's on an 11-game heater. Vancouver is 5 points back on the Kings, who are 2 points back on Edmonton, and Vegas has a 2-point lead in that division. Now, gentlemen, it is time for America's favorite game show. Little thing I like to call North America's game show.
There you go.
Little thing I like to call.
What is the goal differential for the San Jose Sharks,
who are threatening to go almost wire to wire? Don, what you got?
Say 75.
All right.
Like a round good number.
I hate it. I hate it when he says the exact number I want to say.
We're on that same wavelength.
You can concur. It's okay.
No, I don't want to concur. It's no fun when we agree on everything. So I'm going to be the guy. I'm going to say 1 goal, and I'm going to price is right this thing.
So the closest to them in the Eastern Conference are Don's beloved Pittsburgh Penguins, who currently have a goal differential of -49.
Oh, boy.
The closest to them in the Western Conference,
I miss Marc-Andre Fleury,
is the Chicago Blackhawks, who are at a -50. In contrast, the Winnipeg Jets, who, as I mentioned earlier, are currently on an 11-game heater, have a +73.
Okay.
San Jose Sharks have played 59 games. In those games, they are 15, 36, and 8.
That's a lot.
They are currently 36 points out of first place. They are 9-18-2 at home. They are 6-18-6 on the road. So they do not have double-digit wins no matter where they play.
Oh, boy.
They have lost their last 6 in a row.
Oh,
They are 1-7-2 in their last 10. Don, you are over.
Oh, boy.
The San Jose Sharks currently have a goal differential of -70 and are in striking distance of triple digits for the year.
Oh, man. That's brutal.
That's where we're at, kids. And we have preseason spring training is underway. I'm very happy about this.
Aren't we only like
we're a month away from
5 years? No. I was going to say 5 years removed from the Sharks being perennial contenders.
Yep.
Oh my
So
God.
we are 30 days
Somebody
away
call
from
Joe Thornton.
So let's go Braves. Let's go Marlins. All right, let's get into TV and stuff we watched this week. TV edition. I'm artsy.
That was nailed. That was absolutely nailed. Don's just uncultured. It's good.
I like the other one better.
Always got to be somebody complaining.
No.
I did not watch any extra TV this week because as tired as I don't know if I told you, Alex, but Sunday when I got home, I was in bed at 7:30.
No, you did not mention
because
that.
I didn't take because we got up early to get Alex to the airport.
I appreciate that.
I know. I'm saying that to say this. I didn't take a nap on Saturday. I couldn't. Because if you know me, you know I don't nap well. I actually tried. Yeah, no, too much going on. So I was in bed at 7:30 Sunday night. I got enough to get through Collision and Wow and Row and then something else. And then I was like, you know what? Kind of done. So, any TV from you gentlemen this week?
I'll go first.
Okay. Well, first I want to start with we'll talk off air about Sean hating Don right now for spoiling Yellowstone. Number 2, what we'll have is I have talked about a certain show on Prime Video for a few years now, and I will continue to talk about Invincible, even if they brilliantly don't say it every time it's in the title card. It is so good. If you have not watched, now granted, I will, Don, I know Faith does not typically go for violence or any of that, right?
He's okay with it, but not hating it.
Oh, right. But she wouldn't prefer it. You have mentioned that before.
Yeah.
If it's animated, does she take as much issue?
No, I don't think she didn't take as much.
Okay. If you've seen The Boys, think of it as a more family-friendly version, but definitely not family-friendly. But it is Robert Kirkman who came up with The Walking Dead, but it is his superhero, starring J.K. Simmons, Sandra Oh, and Steve Yeun as the titular Invincible. And it is so good. And I've been watching season 3 now that we're about halfway through and playing catch up on that. And Rob, I want to say I texted you about the 3rd episode of the 3rd season.
You did.
For a solid 7.5 to 8 minutes, there is no dialogue. There is only a score over top of the visuals. And it is so amazingly gripping and heart. There's so much heart in it when you wouldn't expect it. It kind of has the depth, and I'm gonna give it some real credo, and I'm gonna throw it over to you, Rob, to speak on this a little bit better because you know it far more than I'll ever will.
Fair enough. The
depth and breadth of society when it comes to the X-Men and what that represented for real. Invincible feels very comparable of giving you those gray areas in this world that can't really exist, but makes you think. It's really, really, it's not just a smash them up and fight and violence. There is some real depth to the storytelling, which if you're just watching it for, the fights and everything, that's fine. It's still great at that. But there is so much more to this show that should be getting more credit and more award nods than it is.
All right.
How about you, Don?
Don, what you got?
With the
First
knuckle
off,
crack.
We finished the second season of White Lotus, and it started off okay, but at the end it really brought together, which made it very interesting. So then we saw the first 2 episodes have been released, so we're caught up in season 3. And the beauty about it is there's like 1 or 2 characters that kind of come back and forth between the seasons. Not all of them. You know what I'm saying? There's one person might be in season 1, then in 3, that kind of thing. But season 3 has somebody I call Shane from The Shield, Walter Goggins, in this season.
Be Walton Goggins, not Walter.
Well, he's playing that part. I still call him Shane, but so that it's going very good on the season 3 here. So it's something that we'll keep up week to week now. But the big one now, which even pales now this to comparison, is we started binging something else and got caught up on something else. Realizing that when I read Wikipedia, it said there was 8 episodes, and I thought there was 8 episodes. We got caught up on the 8 episodes in 2 days. And when it ended, I'm like, oh my God, that's the way to end a season. But then I realized it's 15 episodes. They just dropped 8. And that is the show The Pit.
With Noah Wiley.
What?
With Noah Wiley.
Now it's filmed. The hospital scenes is filmed on the stage in LA, but the outside scenes, there's some outside scenes filmed in Pittsburgh to make it look like it's there.
Hey, Don.
Yeah.
I said this last week because it's one of my job's facilities.
Yeah. But yeah, people might think it's all filmed there, but it's mostly LA though. And
it's in real time.
Yeah. Which you did bring up. But the thing is that this show, we got hooked after the first episode, and it's like the way they ended episode 8, they could have ended the season with that. It was that heartfelt gut punch. If you don't have a soul when you watch the end of episode 8, you're not human. And how it can make you laugh and cry and put a tear in your eye, because that's the reality. And I was reading where one doctor says he hates the show so much because when he goes home, he wants to relax and watch TV and not think he's back at work, because that's what it's like. It's real life.
And it's in real time.
It's in real time.
The entire season is one shift at this hospital.
Yeah, one 15-hour shift, and they're doing real time, kind of like 24 in a way. But if you start on one, you will get caught up. But and it's real life, because that's an ER. You're going to have death and tragedy. That's just the reality of it.
All right.
But oh my, that show, top none. I can't think.
All right.
No.
Anything else?
No, that's it on TV.
All right, let's dive right in. AMC has renewed Dark Winds for season 4, even before season 3 debuts.
I've heard nothing but great things for this, but I haven't started on it.
Apple TV with another announcement for the cast of their Cape Fear limited series. We have told you that Javier Bardem will be part, as will Amy Adams, and now Patrick Wilson is in that cast.
Ooh.
This is getting real, dude.
Now the other part is Patrick Wilson is never the star of anything, but he's that glue guy. He always fits everywhere you put him, whether it be the A-Team movie or Watchmen the movie. It doesn't matter. He nails wherever they put him.
And I can't wait to see him and Javier Bardem face off.
And for the record, don't come at me with the whole Insidious series or any of that. I'm aware that is a starring vehicle.
Disney Plus with a very interesting headline this week. Their second season of Doctor Who is going to kick off April 12th. It'll be the 15th season overall. And guest starring as Mr. Ring-a-Ding will be one Alan Cumming.
Ooh.
Okay.
More Alan Cumming is good Alan Cumming.
And when you said Invincible, I will never not hear his voice in my head from GoldenEye. I am invincible! Disney Junior has renewed Marvel's Spidey and His Amazing Friends for a season 5 after they had apparently a very high rating in the last few weeks. And we found out from Disney Plus that season 2 of Andor will start April 22nd. So, yay.
I loved it.
Fox has renewed. I love the name of this show, and I've actually watched an episode. It's kind of fun. It's called The Quiz with Balls.
Oh, yes. It's so ridiculous. It is so absolutely ridiculous.
Basically, Don, what this is people are in teams, and one person on their team stands on this platform, and they get asked a question. And if they get it wrong, this giant inflatable ball just falls off a ramp and pushes them in the water.
Okay.
And they've also renewed. Go ahead.
But Don, there are group sections where you would have every member of, say, a 5-person family up there, and there's multiple answers, but only like 4 of them are right. Or of the 8 slots, 7 of them are right. And if somebody is in the wrong one, all of the balls come down, but only the wrong answers go far enough to absolutely yeet these people into the pool.
Oh boy.
They've all so that my wife is into Doc. They've renewed that for season 2. This is the lady who has amnesia and she's trying to.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. So that's been renewed for season 2. Let's see. They've also renewed Next Level Chef for seasons 5 and 6, and a spinoff called Next Level Baker.
I have tried to watch this show, but having worked in enough kitchens, it gives me anxiety. But I like the concept.
Don, have you seen any of this show?
No, I did.
Basically, there's 3 levels in this building, and in the middle,
think of it as a hierarchy as well.
Yeah. So, like, the best team is on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And at a certain point, and there's 3 teams, the thing in the middle starts to lower.
Okay.
And they have to get as many of the ingredients off of this table as they can before it goes to the next level. So the top team gets the first choice.
Okay.
But there's a time limit.
Yeah.
Each team has a coach.
Okay.
Which there's a movie that's kind of like that came out a few years ago, but it's more
on Netflix. I saw it where the food comes down in different levels and have to,
let's see here. Where am I? HBO Max has scrapped plans for their sports tier. That is now not going to happen, but they've said it will not affect AEW. AEW stays where it is.
Mm-hmm.
So they have mentioned that season 3 of Euphoria, whenever the heck that is, Sharon Stone will be joining the cast.
Oh.
And they have a show called The Rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, hold on. Good mercy. This is basically a guy takes people on these very elaborate sets and teaches them how to prepare for certain real life scenarios. Season 2 is going to debut on Easter Sunday. So, NBC Peacock with a huge announcement today. This is the thing I had to remember to put on the run sheet. As we know, there's going to be an Office spinoff called The Paper. We've talked about this, or a newspaper. Oscar Nunez will reprise his role on that show. Announced today.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I'm very excited about this. Now, what I normally
what was that, Don? You didn't come through.
No, I said no. That's good.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Normally, we do not substantiate high rumor on this show, but there's some smoke with this next one that I haven't seen it on an official level, but I've heard enough rumblings that there's got to be something to this. The rumors of season 5 of Stranger Things on Netflix, part 1 to be in October, part 2, I can't remember. I think they said November. So, or maybe it's going to be after first of the year.
I actually saw this. They leaked it in the Europe, the Netflix Europe feed.
That it will be in 2 parts starting in October. So get ready, kids. They've also said that the John Mulaney talk show that is now called Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, that will debut March 12th. So get ready for that. Prime Video, I didn't know this. For those of you that don't know, there is a soap opera called Neighbours with a U. The reason it's got a U is because it's from Australia, and it was very, very popular for many, many years. Prime Video actually revived it, but now they've canceled it after 2 seasons. They've also canceled the maple syrup heist series, The Sticky. That's only going to get 1 season. They have renewed Jury Duty, the pseudo reality show. Not only have they renewed it for season 2, it's already been filmed. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, Alex mentioned The Boys earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The final season of The Boys has added both Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins to the cast. So you got a little Supernatural reunion.
Which Jared Padalecki was strongly hinted at in season 4 at certain points. Misha Collins is the surprise. But did you see the video where that was announced?
I did not.
So it's them looking exactly as they do from Supernatural, and it starts with Jensen Ackles, who is already in The Boys and will have his own spinoff after this season, going back to when it was his time at Vought. And it goes to Jared, we got work to do. It cuts to Jared Padalecki, and he's like, all right, let's go. And it's like, Misha, we need you. And he's like, all right, hey, what are we doing? And then The Boys pops up.
kind of like the announcement of Hugh Jackman for Deadpool and Wolverine just walking by in the back.
Similar concept, but more incoherent or unknown.
And today was the premiere of their series House of David. This is the story and lineage of King David in the Old Testament. And I know at least part of the first season, if not the entire first season, will be the story of David and Goliath. And then they will go from there. So TLC.
Are we going to get a Rocky montage from this?
You never know.
Because I'd be interested.
And TLC, this is not about one of Alex's cats, but they have renewed Balin Out Loud for season 2.
That's what you think.
No, this is a reality show. Balin Dupree is the center of this. She's a young woman with Tourette's syndrome, and she's trying to become independent.
Okay.
So the only thing that I saw on TV for DVD and Blu-ray this week, and I'm very interested in it, one of my favorite Adult Swim series hits DVD and Blu-ray this week. Based on the movie Black Dynamite.
Oh.
I love that movie because it's overly self-aware, but you really have to pay attention to see how self-aware it really is. Because my favorite line in the whole movie is just some random guy goes, sarcastically, I'm the leader. Like he just read it off the page.
Hey, it happens to greats. It happened in Lake Placid too.
Right. So they turned it into an animated series that I think got 2 seasons. And there's one episode, and I'm not going to go into it. You're going to have to watch it on your own, but be prepared. If you have any sensibilities, this will offend you. I'm just letting you know. There is one episode where they do a car race. And that's all I'm saying. And I'll tell you boys off air if you want to know. But that one bout to broke me. So Black Dynamite season 1. We do want to give we've got so many tributes this week. Earlier this week we lost Roberta Flack, absolute R&B legend at the age of 88. For those of you that don't know, the Fugees didn't originate I just lost the name of the song.
Gonna find you? No.
Killing Me Softly.
There it is.
She did the original. Albie Sure does a very good cover of it as well. But she also had a great duet called The Closer I Get to You. A lot of hits for Roberta Flack and wrote a lot of hits. If you are a Gen Xer, that name means quite a bit to you. If you're a Gen Xer and you listen to any form of R&B in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So our best go out to her. Let's get into movie talk and stuff we watched this week in movies. I did not watch any movies this week, but my Criterion collection of the original 3:10 to Yuma came in.
Nice.
And I bought the remake during the last movie trading company sale because that's coming up on Matinee Heroes. And I've never seen either one of them.
Really?
Yes. And I've been told that if you have a home theater system, you have to watch the remake of 3:10 to Yuma. So I now own both of them on Blu-ray, and I will be watching both. And apparently the transfer of the old black and white one looks incredible, and I can't wait to watch it.
Great. Yeah, I really love the new one. It is phenomenally well done.
Anything that you boys want? We do have Don's review of a new release we'll talk about here in a little while. Don carrying Review Tuesday. Because for those of you that don't know, Q1 is kind of a wasteland for movies because everybody's on their awards pushes. So there's not a whole heck of I still haven't seen Brave New World, which I need to fix that because they did a 3-hour Fat Man Beyond and I haven't watched it yet because they're going to talk about it and they're going to spoil stuff. Mm-hmm. So maybe we can get around to that this weekend. I don't know. We'll have to talk. Oh, that's another thing we got to talk about off air too.
Yep. Anything
that you boys watch? Not you, Dom. We'll get to that later. But anything outside of that?
Yeah, I actually didn't have any movies. So Don, this is all you.
Okay.
I saw that it came out last year. It was on HBO. Anthony Mackie with Elevation.
I think I saw something on that the other day that somebody was mentioning.
Yeah, it's just got dropped on HBO. If that's the one that was dropped, one of the cable networks. But basically, it was released last year. But basically, it's kind of like A Quiet Place, but it's kind of a different thing. We have these indestructible things that kill humans, but as long as they're above 8,000 feet, they're safe. But once you get below 8,000, then you're fair game, and they track you by your CO2. Like on Quiet Place, these invincible animals from hearing you. This one they track CO2, and it's kind of like A Quiet Place, but it was still good. Only 90 minutes long.
We did get an email this week for a new movie coming out very, very soon. I did not watch. I don't think there's a trailer. I think it was just production stills on it. But did you boys read the email about the surfer?
I don't remember receiving that.
It's a new Nicolas Cage film.
Oh, I saw that thing on that.
About a guy he used to be a surfer and now he's going to take his son to the beach to learn to surf, but they wind up in the middle of a turf war. I'm like, you know what? Why not?
Yeah, why not?
You're going to do that kind of a movie. Why not Nicolas Cage? So, we have 2 in memoriams in the last 36 hours for movies. Yesterday, we lost Michelle Trachtenberg at the age of 39. Been a fan of her forever.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. Sarah Michelle Gellar put up a very nice tribute to her because they were on Buffy together.
They were sisters on Buffy.
And just, she was Harriet the Spy, if you remember that movie with her and Rosie O'Donnell. She was 39 years old. We want to send our best out. Go ahead, Alex.
I was telling Sean she was one of my earliest crushes. And then when Eurotrip came up, it would just broke my brain. And we're going to get into it even deeper with the next one, but you know how somebody has affected you when you can pinpoint your exact thing that person is for you on top of everything else. And it's not just enjoying her career, but if you watched Robot Chicken in the early years,
yes,
and you remember that gummy bear skit, that's her.
Yep.
Her just skipping along, and then the profanity that follows. It never ceases to make me laugh.
That show had a subtlety to it at times.
Early on, at least.
Well, there was once, because basically the premise of it is this chicken and he's been brought back to life and he's forced to just watch TV, and so it's kind of like Beavis and Butthead and they click the channels.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 camels just standing in front of a strip club and one of them goes, "I kind of look like my toe," and then they just move on.
Yeah,
that, and then in the first Star Wars episode, where Luke is he's at a strip club called Tashi Station, and they're like, "Give it up for the power converters." Just the subtlety that show would bring.
And how Family Guy had to acknowledge it in its own versions of doing theirs and be Robot Chicken did it better.
Yeah. Let's see. And also this morning, Gene Hackman, his wife, and their dog found in their home. We're not going to go into the story because there are still details coming out. So we are not making any conjecture. We're not doing any of that, but we do want to pay tribute to the man that was the original Lex Luthor, if nothing else. But you can go farther back than that. You can go to The Conversation. You can go to The French Connection, which, if you haven't seen The French Connection, do yourself a solid.
Absolutely.
Popeye Doyle, a great character and one of the best chase scenes of all time. is in that film. That was one of the first things I saw when I logged onto my computer this morning. And
all the way back to like Bonnie and Clyde. That's 50 years on that one.
I mean, one of the absolute greats of our time. Alex, is there anything you want to say?
I was trying to I believe he was also the original Italian Job. Him or Michael Caine was in there, but it reminds me of the times where you would think that people getting mentioned or whatever would get the respect with it. Going to just like how much of a legend he was. You go into a movie out of the blue, like PCU, where you had the Gene Hackman, Michael Caine theory, where at any time of day, something from Gene Hackman or Michael Caine was on TV. And the fact that the dude was so at the top of his game for so many decades on top of it. One of the early ones I was thinking of that I was just trying to remember was a movie that I don't remember many people liking, but The Quick and the Dead.
So good. I can tell you the theater I saw it in.
But I can't put my finger on it, but there was something about the way they set him up as spoiler alert ? As the villain. But at the same time, you were sitting there and you were like, there were times where you're like, is he really a bad guy? Oh, that's a really bad guy. And the depth that he brought to a character that didn't need that much depth. And he just had to be,
And him in Westerns. I mean, Unforgiven.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you go back to PCU and the kid finds the one movie where they're both in it together.
Yes, this my statement.
Because I
feel like Todd never saw it.
I've often applied that theory to Law and Order.
So I was watching an interview. He loved playing characters that were conflicted because he played it so well. And you can just think of everything that he's done, from, like you're saying, Westerns to stuff like one of my favorite movies. What's the one with the submarine, the Red Tide or whatever?
Crimson Tide. Him and Denzel Washington.
So he can play all different types of roles and everything. And one thing I loved him on when he did, and I didn't know he was this old, but when I think back, because he's 50 years ago, he's in Bonnie and Clyde, was him on the Lowe's commercials as the voice for Lowe's hardware years ago.
Oh my God, he was. Good pull, Don.
Yeah, when you think about it, he just had that voice too. When he was perfect for that ad. But no scandal. Well respected. So many roles. No, that's like he's gonna be like that up there with people like careers like Harrison Ford. Years, decades, so many different things, and no scandal or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't want the limelight. He's just a working man. And like to try to do a day with Kevin Bacon to that. Gene Hackman.
And one of those people whose smile could light up a room.
Yeah.
But and the number of movies we haven't even touched on, whether it be Hoosiers or Enemy of the State, which I don't think got enough credit as it deserved. But a movie that is one of, like, we have talked about movies, music, television as a biographical item. Now, we've talked about that in the same vein with I always watch Draft Day on round one draft day for the NFL.
Love that movie.
When the season starts to kick off, I need me some Jimmy McGinty and the Replacements. That performance, while not among his pantheon, will always be near and dear to my heart. And he has so many performances like that, whether it be, something super serious or going to Welcome to Mooseport. The dude crushed everything you gave him.
And so our best go out to his friends, family, and fans. A huge loss in the industry. Getting into headlines, it was announced this week that at the end of this year, Kathleen Kennedy is expected to retire from Lucasfilm. So,
which of the two do you want to follow? Oh, are you not familiar with this? It's allegedly between two people to replace her.
Okay, go ahead.
Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
Flip a coin, I'm good either way.
That's how I feel too.
If I had to choose one, I'd say Favreau. I'd like to see Favreau. If I had to choose one of the two.
I
Don't
like
get me wrong,
Favreau,
tough.
but man,
Filoni's
Filoni's
knowledge
got
is
the
beyond.
knowledge. Like,
Now-
it's ridiculous.
What if they made them co?
I'm here for it.
That's probably the best. Or allow me to do it this way, based on specialties. Let Favreau handle movies, Filoni handle TV.
I want this Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron movie. Just make this happen.
Yes.
Please.
Even if it becomes a series,
Yes.
anything, just
Give
get
me
it
the
out.
Rogue Squadron thing. Oh, Duke upsets North Carolina in women's basketball, 68-53. So, if you remember, Io Edebiri, she used to be on Saturday Night Live a while back.
She was?
I think so, wasn't she?
I don't remember. I know she's. I believe she hosted at one point, but her biggest thing was
That's
on the
what it
Bear.
was. That's right. She did host because she's the subject of the episode where they give you a week in the life of the writers. That's why it stuck out to me so much. She was in Inside Out 2. She was April O'Neil in the Teenage Mutant Mayhem.
The most recent, yeah.
Glory and Across the Spider-Verse. She has been tapped to write and star in a Barney movie.
You mean Barney the dinosaur?
Well, yes, for Mattel.
My hell has returned.
No, wait for it. It is a partnership between Mattel. You ready for it?
Oh, no.
And A24. Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
We're about to get the darkest timeline of Barney.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was like, all right, Mattel, whatever. And then I saw A24 and I was like, okay, back this parade up a couple.
We're going to see Barney doing heroin. That's what we're going to see.
Barney goes Jurassic Park. I could go with that. That's the only way I'd like to
You
see
know what?
Barney.
Wait. He does heroin and then goes Jurassic Park. We've just pitched it for you.
I was just like, oh my God, A24's doing this.
I
love
you.
kids.
Don. Somebody mute Don. Mute Don or hit him with a chair or both, please.
So as we were doing the show, I saw a trailer for a movie I did not know that is coming out March 28th called A Working Man. This is the latest from the Statham. On the same day, it is announced that we are getting The Beekeeper 2.
Oh, I'm game with that. I liked it.
So is it Beekeepist?
Oh, Beekeeper.
Honey's Revenge. Beekeeper's the Honey's Revenge. The queen bee goes back. The queen bee attack.
The next hive. We're hurting Rob's soul right now.
I know. It's fun.
I like that movie.
I'm
I
a
don't
genius.
care. I love that movie.
Done on How Did This
I
Get
love
Made
it.
for a reason.
Yeah,
And
it
I
was
love the
fun.
Statham, and I love mindless entertainment. And I even said, what I believe about The Beekeeper is that they found this script that was written in 1989 and decided to change nothing but the tech and make it, and John Cena turned it down. That is The Beekeeper.
And somehow, with all of that statement, I want to go watch it again.
Love it.
Another
I like that movie.
We have Shrek 5 news.
Yes, we do.
And we'll have Shrek's daughter in it, and she will be voiced by the Zendaya.
Oh,
So
interesting.
Shrek 5. Now, is it coming back with Myers and all that and Cameron?
That's
Did
all
they
I know.
say?
But I'm
Okay.
assuming. And the live action How to Train Your Dragon will debut at CinemaCon in Vegas this year. Now, that being said, let me be perfectly go ahead.
Your three principals, Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz, will return for Shrek 5.
Okay.
As it is even. Oh, no. I thought Mike Myers actually had a hand in writing it. But he did not.
Those of you that are like, oh, I'm going to go to CinemaCon and see this, CinemaCon, maybe tap the brake a little bit and let me tell you why. And as many people as hated this movie, I get it, and I didn't think it was bad as everybody else did. The Flash debuted at CinemaCon, but it did not have the last 10 minutes or the mid-credit scene in it. So it may not be complete. I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
I feel like the mid-credit scene might have been the only good part of that movie for me.
The very end scene of that made me giggle.
Oh, that That pissed me off.
between that and Nick Cage. But new releases in places you get movie new releases this week. Don got to see Last Breath.
Uh-huh.
And you can see that particular review at www.theclubhousepodcast.com.
That's our website.
We also have a movie called My Dead Friend Zoe this week. This is from the studio. I just lost the name of the studio, but this is a studio that's basically crowdsourced. And I have a friend overseas that's actually part of this whole thing. Engaged in a mysterious relationship with her dead best friend from the army, a female Afghanistan veteran comes head to head with her Vietnam vet grandfather and family's ancestral lake house. So, Sonequa Martin Green is in this, Natalie Morales, and Ed Harris.
Kevin Smith is actually part of this with Legion M.
Legion M, that's the studio. That's what I was trying to think. We also have.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. I looked it up.
That's okay. We also have Riff Raff, and this actually, I'm on the fence with this one. A former criminal's ordinary life, which is turned upside down when his old family shows up for a long-awaited reunion. This has Jennifer Coolidge, Ed Harris, Bill Murray.
I don't need any more. I'm in.
Pete Davidson. I saw the trailer and I'm like, maybe not. This is a little weird, but okay.
Well, you said Riff Raff 3 times, and I was getting worried it was that MTV guy.
We also have No Address. This is about a young lady who winds up on the street and forms a family with other people that are living on the street. Those are your big ones this week. Movies on DVD and Blu-ray that's coming Tuesday. Gladiator 2.
Oh,
That's
remind me not to buy it.
I liked it.
Red One, which I very much enjoyed.
It was fun.
It's a fun movie. Kraven the Hunter, which is already on Netflix. I'm sorry, no, Venom is. Kraven is not yet. But Kraven the Hunter this week. Den of Thieves.
Now, let's not go too far back, or let's not go too far past. Don, are you buying Kraven?
No, I won't buy it.
That's one of your top movies last year, wasn't it?
I know, but I don't usually buy movies. That's the thing.
No, you do buy movies. You buy terrible movies.
I'm not young. Yeah, he's not wrong. Den of Thieves 2 Pantera, which will be on Netflix March 13th.
Oh, nice.
If you want to wait for it there. Your 4K steelbook is the 4K steelbook of Akira. You got that going for you. And American Gigolo gets a 4K release this week. Biggest song from that soundtrack?
Call me.
Never seen it.
There you go, Don. Well played. Arrow Video. Yes. Arrow Video is doing their treatment for Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, nice.
And Play It Cool. And the Criterion Collection does The Wages of Fear this week. All righty. And now this. The other half of this show is the Cheat Podcast, your one-stop shop for all things in the world of professional wrestling.
For 15 years, your one-stop shop for all things professional wrestling.
We need somebody to do that for us. A couple of generic headlines. I want to send a shout out. For almost 30 years, I have gotten a daily email from something called the Wrestling Online newsletter. Today was their 7,500th edition and their last.
Oh.
Didn't know till I got today's newsletter. I have gotten many pieces of information from them. I believe he lives in Malta, but he's been every WrestleMania. He would travel to wherever Mania was, spend a week. He's still going to run his website. You can follow them, Wrestling Online, on Facebook. Look for the logo that has the white background. His sources are solid. I'm a big fan, and I'm sad to see that go because I look forward to that coming in my inbox every day. So, if you remember the Beast from WoW, she almost won Beast games on the Amazon Prime under her real name. She's a 2-time WoW champion. So, Alex, you look confused.
I was just black screen for about 20 seconds there.
Oh, I had you the whole time.
The last thing I heard was the Beast.
The Beast from WoW, under her real name, almost won Beast Games on Amazon. I think she came in
on Prime Video. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
And now she's been cast in a movie. I read today. So, rumors that Jazz has signed on with TNA as an agent.
That I believe was confirmed earlier today that she is working as a producer.
So good for her. Last week's episode of Impact. Don, did you watch Impact last week?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that opening segment?
What was it? I forgot.
Well, it started out with Joe Hendry.
Okay. Then he did remind me on that because I slept since then.
So he was doing his concert, and then Epico and Primo Cologne.
Yeah. And then I was going to say, what's
and then which we thought Elias, who we thought was signed with Ring of Honor, shows up.
Yeah.
And then Carlito comes out. Not Carlito, I'm sorry. Santino comes out to make the match official, and he says, versus the Colognes, and it's going to smell fantastic. And I was like, oh. Like, as bad as my dad jokes are, that made me groan.
I saw something said online that I am upset with all of us for not saying it first.
What's that?
So we have the WWE TNA partnership.
We do?
Yeah.
How is Santino not already going into the Hall?
They're not done announcing yet.
But is he not like one of your main, like, yes, I want that right now?
Make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're putting it out there to the universe.
I would say, does he deserve? Yeah, but not yet. Because he's still active in the way as a manager. And I'm one of those. There's so many people who are aged who should be in.
Yeah, but if you're TNA, you know this thing's got a shelf life.
Yeah.
So get it done.
Mm-hmm. And still, on top of it, you have Ariana Grace coming up, and she's getting more shine with that. This is a good way for the E to benefit from it, while TNA benefits from it. Mm-hmm. And as I respect what you're saying, Don, but
yeah,
I want you to think about it. That Miracle in Milan was how many years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty aged, dude.
Yeah. So, I'll take the point on the other end.
Isn't it Bobby Lashley he beat in Italy for the Intercontinental title?
I don't know that it was Lashley, but it was somebody like that. I thought it was Ryback, to be honest. I'll look it up.
But here's the thing, and this I'll make the point on this. Who should be in the Hall of Fame first? Santino or Skandar Akbar?
Santino for me.
Because Akbar,
I have no connection. That's why, Don.
But you got to remember, Don, Akbar's overlap with the company was minimal. Now with Triple H in charge, that can change.
But overlap means nothing to me. They deserve to be in the Hall.
But you're not the one putting people in, Don.
I know. I'm just saying.
You got to understand the way this works.
I actually want to defend Don on this side real quick. Rock and Roll Express went in and they were never in the company.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Akbar, Rock and Roll Express.
I'm not saying
the room.
The overlap argument. I'm actually on Don's side because I feel like Triple H being a student of the game, that means less, but I understand where you're coming from.
Like, I have no issue with Skandar Akbar going in the Hall.
Yeah.
But the thing you face now with the Hall of Fame is because you're doing it at 11 o'clock Eastern on a Friday night, you've got to have people inducted that are going to get people to stay up that late. Because when we went, that was a long night.
I know. And I'll say your point, then I'll make my point.
Oh, no. I was going to say something else to put a bow on what we had earlier. The Miracle in Milan was over Umaga.
Oh, the Umanga.
Yeah. So the other part with that is we have talked about not wanting the Hall of Fame to cross over into storyline. Thanks, Rock. But if they wanted to continue that, could you not see that be the debut of Zilla just knocking out Morella as soon as his Hall of Fame induction's over? If you want to make it a story, that's the way you do it. Go ahead, Tom.
Here, if I was H or Khan or whoever,
If you had a say to get it done.
Yeah. What the thing is, I look at this on WrestleMania weekend, but they already have the storylines by Friday night. The SmackDown's not that great. Say, do you know what? On SmackDown this year, for every year now, the SmackDown before WrestleMania, we're going to show the Hall of Fame. That's going to be SmackDown.
That's what we've been saying for 2 years, Don.
No, I mean,
I liked it when it was SmackDown was live from what at the time was WrestleMania Access, and then you had like 3 pre-taped matches, and then you could still do you could do the Hall of Fame move, put Stand and Deliver on Thursday night and still do the Hall of Fame on Saturday morning.
No, I would do the Hall of Fame on Friday.
And that's a valid point, and I don't see anything wrong with it. I just
because let's say, hey, the story's already done. Basically, just say on Friday night for SmackDown, it's the Hall of Fame. That's SmackDown. It's the Hall of Fame.
But I also think that you should, to go with the Hall of Fame, at least for SmackDown, you should do the Andre on Friday night. I think that
if you're not going to do it on Mania,
yeah, because they haven't.
Well, they got 2 nights now. Move that to Andre to Mania night 1.
Yeah, but I think that doing the Mania doing the Andre as SmackDown like right off the bat, I think that's a really good lead into the Hall of Fame because that man was the first inductee.
Yeah,
I have a terrible question.
Sure.
How long does the Hall of Fame usually last? That ceremony?
2 to 3 hours.
So you're saying it's roughly the length of a WrestleMania kickoff?
It's also roughly the length of SmackDown.
But my point being is you could do it in either of those circumstances. It'd be great.
Well, the reason I don't think you could do it as the kickoff show is because you got people trying to get ready for the show.
But at the same time, if you have it pre-taped from doing it at an earlier time, whether it be on Friday night or something, but you give it more of a, hey, we know that some people care about the Hall of Fame. Here it is at midnight. Like,
in ceremonies earlier today.
I would just scratch the wrestling part of SmackDown and just make that SmackDown the Hall of Fame.
I'm okay with that too.
I have no issue with it. I just what you can do. Speaking of which, the Chamber is this Saturday.
Okay.
I read in a headline today that I found interesting.
What's that?
We have a women's tag match.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that this will be the first time Trish Stratus's kids have ever seen her perform in person?
Really?
That actually doesn't surprise me that much. I believe they're younger, though.
Well, they are, but still, I think it's kind of cool that they get to do it in Toronto.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a cool note. I don't find it as surprising. That's what
I am looking forward to this elimination chamber. Both of them. I think it's going to be. They're saying that the entryway is very small.
Oh, really?
They'll be coming out of the dugout again, just like they do when they do the Rumble.
Yeah, well, pretty much any baseball arena.
Yeah. So, but they've said it's going to be a very minimal entryway because of the size of the chamber. That's what I read today. So
I wonder if that means it's going to be bigger.
We have news on Evolve.
Mm-hmm.
They're apparently taping, and I quote, months at a time. They're in a very limited space in the PC with only about 100 invitees. This is not something that people can just go to. This is invited guests and family that will be at the tapings for Evolve. And there are also rumors that referee Jessica Carr is wrestling under a mask for this. So that's what she did originally. So.
But I believe they said the original name that they have trademarked that people believe she is wrestling under a mask is under Calyx or Calyx.
Something like that.
Calyx.
Starts with a K, I think, doesn't it?
I thought it was C. It could be C or K. It's something with that sound.
And apparently she has already had matches.
Mm-hmm.
So want to go live to Alex Barnhill.
Oh, dear.
Time?
Why do I have
Alex, I want you to circle July 21st on your calendar.
Go on.
Because it will be WWE night at Citi Field.
Mm-hmm.
And the giveaway will be a Mr. Met WWE themed bobblehead.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. Just saying. You should know.
Well, because here's the other interesting thing. There was some rumor and innuendo that I'm supposed to be at that building 4 days earlier.
All right. I'm here for it.
For David Wright night.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And we now officially have our first TKO takeover. It's going to happen the weekend after Mania. at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. The T-Mobile Arena is in Vegas. The T-Mobile Center is in Kansas City, Missouri. It was kind of like when the Heat would play the Mavericks in the finals, and they were both American Airlines. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
So they'll be doing Pro Rodeo on Thursday, UFC on Saturday, WWE on Monday.
Nice.
With the schedule. Speaking of places to do things, Monday night, if you were in our fair burg, we would love for you to come join us because the boys are scheduled to be at a beautiful place called Cosm. There are only 2 of these in the entire country. There's one here and there's one in Los Angeles. This is a fully immersive experience. We will be watching Monday Night Raw this coming Monday night. All 3 of us are going to be there, hanging out, taking it all in. And it's not just like watching a movie on a big screen, because it kind of is. But they have their own cameras. So you're going to get exclusive camera angles that nobody else in the country or the world's going to get. Like for the Rumble, they had a fixed camera on the entryway. So sometimes they would see the entrance before anybody else would. Alex, go ahead.
So some of the Cosm precursors for those that have been paying attention, if you think back and remember like, oh, wow, the pillars have gotten larger in WWE because they have those really cool video boards and sometimes pyro. But if you remember the cameras that were on top that have become much smaller, those are Cosm cameras. So during the Rumble, for example, I was informed on this. People were seeing eliminations from roughly that far away.
Yeah. I'm very much looking forward to this on Monday night. Thank you to Cosm for having us out come Monday.
Absolutely.
After Sheamus and Drew McIntyre were there yesterday to watch a soccer match.
Shout out Ricardo.
Ricardo got a picture with both of them and a belt. So we're looking forward. Come on out Monday night. Get your tickets from Cosm. They even have their own app. So you can buy your tickets through there. They've got different levels and different places for you to sit. I got the tickets for us, but I haven't looked at where they are, but I'm sure they're fantastic. So, and let them know the Clubhouse Podcast sent you. Not saying, I'm just saying. Let's see. SmackDown headlines. Congratulations to Angel Garza and his wife. They have welcomed their second child. Aaliyah Atenea is her name. So,
congratulations.
Candice LeRae has retained the women's speed title, which nobody sees outside of X Twitter. I'm gonna do my notes from SmackDown because I want to come back. I got to bury a lead on something. Is it just me or does Jimmy Uso's lower third look like the Monday Nitro logo?
One of them. I haven't thought about that, but now that you've mentioned it, it looks like one of the logos.
Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
And I hate you for telling me.
And now Rock wants Cody's soul.
Yeah,
for the record, everybody who stole the joke I made when that happened, where I said, "Where will he keep his adrenaline?" I hate you.
That was a 20-minute segment.
Yeah.
What did we get out of it?
We're going to find out apparently on Saturday night.
What did we get? Hey, we're going to have filler at the chamber.
I've heard rumors that this could be the building of a new corporation, which I'm not on board with.
I heard one potential booking for it that I'm very intrigued by, but I would rather not spoil it for people. If y'all want to know, I'll say it off air or reach out to me at Vexploit on social media.
So those are my only notes from SmackDown, but I saw something today and I want it to be real so badly. Have you seen any of these pictures of these Kevin Owens Topps cards?
Yes. Oh my God, I love this.
I want this to be true so badly.
It is. It is 100% true. It is absolutely true. So he makes every one of his cards a 1 of 1 with a different inscription.
So apparently, Don, I don't know if you've seen these Topps cards they're doing. They'll sign certain cards and they're in random packs.
Okay.
Kevin Owens is writing just wheels off things on his. I saw 4 of them today. They read as follows. Number 1, I once ate soup. Kevin Owens.
Yes.
The bloodline aren't really related.
Oh, wait, it's going to get crazier.
I heart alligators. Kevin Owens. I like several Shakira songs. Kevin Owens. Those were the 4 I saw today. I laughed hysterically.
Oh, there's another one that was Sami Zayn is a vegan. That's all it was.
I love that name.
But he'll literally just like whatever occurs to him is what the inscription he'll do. And I love that man so much.
We need more of this. On Raw, I learned that Joaquin Wilde went to college with McAfee.
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Didn't
and we have new women's tag champs.
I was genuinely expecting that to be a Mania situation. This surprised me.
I did see, and I don't know if it airs on tonight's episode or not, but Entertainment Tonight went to Liv Morgan's ranch in Florida, her farm, and they toured it. It's a great piece of property she's got down there. And it's a farm. She's got like chickens and cows and stuff.
And it's one of those where, based on familial connections, I have that curiosity. But I'm also going to say, I'm not going to ask the question because nobody should care where people live. Leave them alone. Cosign Rhea Ripley. I don't know if you saw that headline.
Oh, yeah. Don't send stuff to people. Dear God.
Don't show up. Don't send stuff. If you want, go to a meet and greet. That's the end of that list.
NXT news. Title for title makes no sense to me at Roadblock.
It does not.
Now I've read today that Julia's a little banged up, but it's nothing that's going to keep her long term. This has to end in a schmoz.
Everything is pointing that this not only ends as a schmoz, but that it'll also create a situation where one of them can take a break, i.e. Julia, to heal up. Whereas Stephanie, whoever breaks it up, Stephanie will be the honorable future ex-Mrs. Barnhill and take on whoever the interrupter is, whether it be Jordan Grace or somebody else.
At Stand and Deliver.
Correct.
Still a great logo. Man, they did it.
Yeah, it is.
And Graves. Corey Graves.
I like him.
Moose's NFL career, let's have to break a little bit on that because I did the research. Right? He played one full season at Moose.
Hey, that's more than Lesnar did.
Yeah, but saying how he dominated the NFL for 6 years, let's slow your roll a little bit there, Speed Racer. The last 3 he was spent on practice squads. All right? And he's not winning that belt.
No. God, no.
Interesting note from Collision. Speedball Mike Bailey is all elite.
Mm-hmm.
And when your wife is a very, very talented commentator, your sizzle reel comes out really nicely.
Yes, it does.
Because that was half of it at least.
And allegedly, Tony Khan was so high on that there's rumor that he gave him a 5-year deal.
I like the guy. He still looks like one of my cousins when we were kids.
You're talking about Bailey or whatever?
Yes.
Speedball Mike.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you mean his wife?
He's married to Vita Scott.
Okay. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got married a couple years ago, and she's doing a lot of work at the commentary.
You don't remember that episode where Rob got really upset, Don?
No.
How you doing? And I read today that Layla Hirsch's contract expires tomorrow.
Can I fantasy book an idea?
Please.
Layla Hirsch and Ivy Nile.
Here for it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus or tag team?
Tag teams are just versus waiting to happen.
Also true.
Yeah. So you can have that aspect.
Come a long way.
Yes, she has. Her only problem is that she's 3.5 feet tall. Yeah. That's the only problem she has.
She could be the anonymous NXT general manager.
But what I'm getting at is you give them their, because they already have been calling Ivy Nile the Pitbull. Just have them be like I don't want to call it the new Pitbulls because the new anything that isn't Age Outlaws is a garbage tag team inherently, no matter how good the people involved are. But let them just run roughshod like shoot fighters the way that Kurt Angle, when he switched over to ECW did, and it did wonders for his career. Just let them be pit fighters and let the Creeds not look as serious and have Gable go back and forth on that.
Can she now refer to herself as Miss Worldwide? I know you want me. You know I want ya.
I like Pitbull. You leave that man alone.
I like him too. I have said on this show, he gets so much. Yeah. One of the greatest stories of all time involves Pitbull and Walmart. That man gets an eternal, plus he's Mr. 305, but he gets an eternal pass for that alone.
And never complaining about it, doing the best, being happy the whole way. The dude understands the grind and has gotten to where he's gotten.
And
you may not like him, but go.
And owns all of Desi Arnaz's wardrobe. And I'm here for it because he can pull it off.
You mean he inherited?
He owns it.
Yeah.
Ownership's 9/10 of law. All right, no, that's possession is 9/10 of law.
Yeah, that's kind of both.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Anything else we want to talk about, boys?
No.
All right, make sure you join us Monday night at Cosm. When you buy your tickets and you get there, say, you know what? I heard about this on the Clubhouse podcast, and I'm really excited because we're excited. Thank you, Sunset Lounge DFW, for helping us out.
Absolutely.
We love being part of Sunset Lounge DFW, and stay by the channel because we got cool stuff coming. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Look. That's cool. Like a hair.
There's only hundreds of them sitting in my car.
There's a QR code over there. Click it or scan it or whatever you kids with the clothes and the hair do. That'll take you to all of our social media and, of course, our website, www.theclubhousepodcast.com. More stuff coming there in the future when we get to see more movies. You can follow me on all of your social medias if you'd like. Everything is Yes That Rob Irvin. That is spelled ERVIN.
I am Vexploit on all social media. If you'd like to help out the show, please go to ProWrestlingTees.com and search for the Cheap Popcast. We got a lot of different shirt designs and a lot of different color options within those. If you're an artist and you have some tweak ideas or even some designs that you'd like to give, you will get 100% of the proceeds of any shirt sold from one of your designs. You can send that to me at alex@theclubhousepodcast.com.
URL to get those awesome shirts that even make me look good. ProWrestlingTees.com/cheappopcast. At Twitter, I'm at Voodoo. IGBNUU. If you want this madness to your place, email me, Don at clubhousepodcast.com.
Next Saturday night, Bankhead Film Festival in Garland, Texas. We will be there, and we got to talk about that at some point, boys. I got to make sure that you guys have all the links to watch stuff. We'll be out there hanging out in downtown Garland. Come hang out with us. You can email me questions, comments, concerns. So I'm going to go pound sand. I am Rob at theclubhousepodcast.com. Charla Marshall is on Pinterest because we are morally obligated to say that. She texted me earlier. She was listening to some Jim Blossom. She's like, oh, it's our songs. We have seen them together because my sister's awesome. Be a part of the Patreon, which if you're watching this, you already are right here at Sunset Lounge DFW. Check out all the amazing shows right here at Sunset Lounge DFW. We've got something for everybody. I get stuff popping up on my phone all the time. New show. Got a lot coming your way, so stick with us. We appreciate you being part of the empire. Our normal shows live every Thursday night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, your one-stop shop for all things sports, entertainment, pop culture, and pro wrestling. And we've got some cool people that may be joining us down the road a little bit too. Talked to one the other day. I think we're going to pull that one off. So until next time. Oh, I got to do the thing over here. Hold on. So until next time, for Alex, for Don, for the Empire, I'm Rob. Clubhouse is closed. Brittany Palmer on the cover of Fitness Girl magazine that she's been very famous to be on.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.